Hello, ano? Ready na ba kayo?
Hi, Kuya! Wala sa shop yung bag na gusto ni Mama. Kailangan ko ng tulong
Relax
mo.
ka lang, may alam akong lugar, bigay ko sa address. Ayaw nga pala, kailangan ko nang ipadala yung pang-tuition mo.
The best ka talaga, Kuya. Pero dapat sa road limit, ha?
Siyempre si Kuya pa. Madiskarte yan eh.
Alam mo yan. Oh, ha? Ay, si Mama tumatawag.
Hi, anak!
Ma, tawagan kita mamaya ha. Nagluluto kasi ako nilaga eh.
Kung huwag kakalimutan lagyan ng paminta, ha?
Di ma, o sige na, tawagan kita mamaya. Ano, nabili mo na ba yung bag?
Oo, Kuya. Ako pa. Salamat sa pinadala mo. Malapit na ako sa bahay. Ma, bigay ni Kuya para sa'yo.
Happy birthday, ma!
Dali ma, galing sa amin lahat yan.
Yes, galing sa amin lahat yan.
Thank you! We miss you mga anak ko!
Spoon and rice, you know, this is really, as I've said, the most authentic place to come for Filipino street food. Spoon and rice.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pusong Pinoy with Malcolm Conlon. I'd like to thank my sponsors, World Remit, also Spoon and Rice and Comfort Healthcare. Thank you for being part of this journey. You know, it's great to be with you guys again. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do this show on Sunday, but there was some personal circumstances that meant that I wasn't able to go ahead. You know, I've really been struck by the situation with the recent typhoon in the Philippines. So I'd like to dedicate this episode to what's happening regarding fundraising, regarding this calamity. I'd like to hand you over to my first guest, Lolita Boddy. Lolita Boddy is a community organizer and is very much working hard in Yorkshire to support Filipinos there. In fact, there's an annual fiesta there at the Ripon Racecourse, Rock on Yorkshire. And of course, Lolita Boddy is also president of the Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club. So without much further ado, it's over to you, Lolita. Can you tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing right now?
Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you? Kumusta ka? It's really nice to be here again. And yeah, it's nice to see you again. I know you've been on our show before. Can you tell me about why you wanted to come on the show today and what's happening right now in the Philippines?
Well, Malcolm, as we all know, we can see it on television, or heard it on over the news and all this media. It's all about our another disaster. You know, it's the typhoon Ulysses that struck the Philippines. So we are here to promote the fundraising drive that we are doing at the moment, so we can assist the difficult situation of our fellow men in the Philippines.
Thank you. You know, as we all know, there's lots of different organizations out there who are fundraising. You know, my inbox is full of people asking me to share various fundraising drives. And of course, I would support as many that I can, including, of course, the Philippine Red Cross and all the big organizations out there. But the thing is, what's very important is that people who already work out in the Philippines and people who are grassroots, i.e., they've helped people in the local community, they're dealing with it themselves. You know, a lot of these big charities, maybe based in other countries, maybe they've got CEOs, they've got presidents, some of the money goes towards administration. Now, can you tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing and what happens to the money that you guys have raised?
Yes, yeah. Let me mention this recent fundraising that we have done, Malcolm, from my previous interview from you. We have all this event lined up for this year, but because of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, we're not able to, go ahead with all these events. It would be very easy on our part because I'm an organizer. I organize events. Now, when there's a calamity like this, that there's a need to donate money, we can't do any event. That's why we find it difficult to encourage people to donate, money, because some of the Filipino lost their job and some of them, they don't have enough to give, but still, we're so thankful because they are giving as much as they can. So, from our previous event, like the Mrs. Philippines Maharlika UK 2020 that we have done last June, we were able to raise £4,000 for charity. Yeah, but all those money, we have donated it right away to the Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation to support the Adopt a Fisherman project, which will give 11 boats to these fishermen, which we are now glad because with these calamities that on now, we were able to tell the fishermen, oh, you can collect your boats now, your fishing boats. And we have a turnover just last week. We were able to turn over around 11 boats for the fishermen. And they were very happy because they are using it now to evacuate people and to give relief to the other victims of the flooding. This picture that you can see, or the video that you are seeing now, is taken from Bulacan, Malolos, Bulacan. That's our beneficiary for this fundraising that we have done last June. But because we have given all the money that we have raised from our event, here we go again, asking people to donate whatever they can to support the other part of the country, like Isabela, Cagayan, Manila, and all this. So we are here, Malcolm, to plead to people to please donate whatever you can do. You have mentioned earlier that there are lots of Filipino community who's doing their own kind of fundraising, which is good. And I like that because everybody's trying to help. And we in Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club, that's what we want to do as well, because our organization is based on charity. Wherever calamities comes, we have, some money to give to these people who need it most.
Well, what I think is excellent is, there's proof about what you've done. You're not just raising money and nobody knows what's happened to the money, or there's not lots of overheads. For example, you raise £4,000 and you only get 2 boats. Clearly you've already donated 11 boats, and those very same boats have really helped people not only to sustain a livelihood through the fishing, which they do, but also to help people in this calamity. So I really do pay tribute to your organization and your vision, if you like, and what you're doing in the Philippines. Now, as you say, this year we can't really hold events due to COVID-19, so it's very hard. If you hold a concert and you donate £5 of the ticket, it's a lot easier to raise money that way. People obviously want to watch a show, want to watch entertainment, they'll give money, but it's a lot harder. So through all these virtual things that we're doing now, maybe people can be encouraged to donate. How can people donate money to your organization?
Yes, yeah. I would like Sonia White, our friend here, who's also one of the volunteers of Maharlika, to explain what we are doing now.
Please. Hi, Sonia. How are you? It's
Hi,
lovely to talk
Malcolm.
to you as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining my show. I really, really appreciate it. When this show is finished, I would ask that you also promote it. I would ask that you also get the word out, get the message out, because, you know, there's so many charities that you would donate to and you don't really see the people behind the charity. But what I particularly like is you've taken the time to come on, you've taken the time to explain. How can people donate? And tell me a little bit about what's going to happen with that money.
All the money we were going to raise this time is all going to the victim of this calamity, or this typhoon Ulysses back in the Philippines. As you're all aware, it's really, really difficult to raise funds at the moment because of the pandemic. We're all on lockdown, and at the same time, a lot of people lost their job, some others on furlough, and they just had enough for themselves. So it's really, really difficult. This is a difficult time to raise funds, but we have tried that anybody who can donate their clothes, to their items that they don't want, use or unused, we can sell it to Yorkshire Maharlika page, and all the money will proceed to Ulysses victim in Isabela and Cagayan, or anywhere that is really, really needed help back in the Philippines.
Am I right in thinking, and I know this already because I've done it myself, you can go on Facebook and you can search the Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club. If you could send them a message, who would be responding to that message? Can they do that?
Yes, definitely they can.
And does that go to yourself? So if somebody was going to click on the link to that page, they would send a message, you would then see the message, right?
Yes, yeah, we will see the message. I personally manage that page, so I'm there 24 hours.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Yeah, we're all doing whatever we can. As you know, when it first happened, I was probably awake in the middle of the night, you know, posting information. I'm sure you were as well. I think that's the wonderful thing about Facebook. We can use it to be able to support others and help others. So what we're going to do now, if that's all right, is we're just going to take a quick break. But just to let you know, we also have another virtual guest today, Mia Librojo. Now, just to give you a little bit of history about Mia, she's an upcoming Filipino singer-songwriter, and basically she's based in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Now, during the time of Typhoon Yolanda, going way, way back, she was in the town hall in Belfast and she was able to sing Imagine, and that really helped to raise a lot of funds. And she's very kindly said that she's allowing one of her songs to be used today. It's on YouTube. It's her new single. So let's take some adverts then, and then we'll go ahead and we'll be able to play Mia's song, which is amazing. You know, she sounds like Avril Lavigne. It's really fantastic. And it's really nice to see young people as well getting behind this and getting involved with this situation back home in the Philippines. So we'll join you very soon.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
spoon and rice. You know, this is really, as I've said, the most authentic place to come for Filipino street food, spoon and rice.
Thanks so much to Mia Librojo and, of course, to her dad, Rudy, and all her family. I'd just like to greet them. Unfortunately, Mia couldn't actually be with us personally today, but she's allowed us to use this song within the fundraising effort. So I'd like to thank her for that. Without much further ado, we'll go back to Lolita Boddy, and she can tell us more about what she knows about what's happening right now in the Philippines. Do you have any relatives in that region? Can you tell me a little bit more about the disaster and what you've been hearing?
I came from the province of Bulacan, and I'm glad to hear that my families are all okay. And though we live not very near the dam, because that's the cause of the flood that's going on now. They were saying that they have to release several dams so to allow waters to, but in Bulacan, there are some places that are being flooded as well. And the area, as far as I know, is this area where we donated these boats. Because I went there personally, I think it's 2 years ago, we went on the boat because the place where they live near, there's a river, and then the water from the sea itself sometimes, combined. So it's very dangerous. You can see a lot of these places are all, flooded, and their houses, some of them are just, they're not really made of very stable place, stable shelter. So as far as I know, that's all I know. But from what I can see from PFC News, all these places like in Isabela, Cagayan, in Manila, and in Marikina, they are all, the people are just staying on top of the roof of their house. So it's very sad to hear that, because it's another, memory of Ondoy. As you can remember that is, but I think this time the people are being warned earlier, so they manage to evacuate as early as they can before the typhoon arrived.
Correct. There is an evacuation system in the Philippines, and I know that it's regularly practiced. But one of the issues is, and I'd just like to mention at this time, Gina Lopez, as you probably know, sadly, she's no longer with us. May she rest in peace. But she was talking a lot about the illegal mining and the trees and everything that are being cut down and everything like that. Now, the problem is, for a long time now, people have been grabbing, and I don't want to get political. This is not about politics, but I think it is about the environment, isn't it? I think it's about making sure that trees aren't being cut down and things aren't being done to rob the landscape, if you like, because I'm sure that doesn't help with this funding. And of course, the problems with the drainage and so many other issues. Of course, there are going to be disasters. And of course, the Philippines is really in such a belt where it gets a lot of these natural calamities. But thank goodness there isn't the same loss of life as there was previously, which is good. But you just look at the pictures now and the videos that we can see. It's been an absolute disaster. It really, really has. But thankfully now we're on the road to recovery. And what I do like to see is so many organizations, as you see, including yourself, are involved in that fundraising effort.
That's right. Yeah, there's always reason to give, and there's always somebody who's in need. So that's why the fundraising should not be done on occasion like this. We need to do it all the time.
We've often said this, we need to have some kind of disaster response fund. And I know various organizations have done that, but you almost need to do it in good times, before this pandemic, when people maybe had more money. If you then build up a fund of money, an emergency disaster fund that can be used in any situation. This is something that I personally want to see. I know the Philippine Center, as you know, I'm very much involved with the Philippine Center. And I know previously, in the previous typhoon many years back, I know that as a registered charity, you're probably the same. As a registered charity, the Philippine Center can't really respond to things in the Philippines unless they have a special permission. And people forget that actually charity is very heavily regulated. You're very heavily regulated, and that's the good thing. When you have a charity number, when you're official charity, you can't just donate money without really giving the reason and everything else. So the public can be reassured that, like the Philippine Center, I know you're very careful and that you have proper accounts and that you put proof of the money that's donated. Can you also just give us that reassurance?
Yes, yeah. So as everybody knows, Yorkshire Maharlika is not a registered charity organization. We are a community non-profit organization, because it's very hard to find members of the organization who will concentrate on doing charity. That is the problem, Malcolm. Say there was a time, there will be a time that, okay, I don't want to do the Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club. Who is the successor? Who will replace me for doing this? So we're only a small organization, And if you are a registered organization, you need to raise £5,000
Yes.
a year to be
Have
registered.
directors and everything. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that personally, but it's just the same. You know, you guys are doing an amazing job, and I know that when you have your annual Barrio Fiesta, I know a certain percentage of the ticket sales, and you make a big donation. I think that's important, and people in Yorkshire can see that. People in Ripon can see that you're actually doing something positive, and the money is going to the right place. Looking back now at the photos, you know, of Piolo there and of all your work, you know, I've got to be honest, I sadly miss the fact that we can't hold these events anymore. Let's go again. You know, and there's me and the guys from TFC, and I appreciate you flashing these photos. But that's the thing, you know, you're a living legacy, if you like, that this is a really important cause, and this can help people. And I think whatever people say about various things, I think we need to keep on doing this. We need to keep on holding these fundraising events, these fiestas, because they really do change people's lives, which is exactly what's happened in the case of these boats that you've donated.
That's right, Malcolm. And one thing more is the fact that organizing events like this with people like, oh, we want celebrity. Yeah, it helps to pull the audience to come to Ripon because there's a celebrity. But if they're not willing to pay the amount that we need to pay the celebrity because they are not free, then, you know, we might as well organize a virtual event or a simple event.
Yeah, completely right. You know, as you say, when they had this dinner before with I can't remember which artist it was, there was this fundraising dinner. And I think that is the thing, you know, if people want that, then people need to pay towards that. And, you know, people don't understand how much money is actually involved in these events. You know, as you know, I'm involved with the Philippine Centre and the Barrio Fiesta to London. You know, that's a very, very expensive event to run, costing into tens and tens of thousands of pounds if you pay for security, police, all these other licenses and everything else. And, you know, I hope the community can appreciate that and get on board with us when we complete these projects.
That's right. Yeah, what we are asking for these people, we give joy and, you know, good day to our Filipino community. And of course, we're not doing it for ourselves to gain anything, but we do this so we can unite the Filipinos. So when there is time like this, we can be also united to help our fellow men. We have obligation, you know, to our fellow Filipinos to help them because we know the situation. And that is the reason that most Filipinos are here abroad or anywhere in the world, because we want to help back our community in the Philippines, our own families.
You just look at the number of people who attended the Ripon Fiesta, you know, is into the, so look at so many people there and they're all happy, they're enjoying the event, and that's just fantastic. And what I can see is, you know, even the mayor was very pleased with what you're doing. And I think it's uniting people of all races, not just Filipinos, but as you know, a lot of Filipinos are married to foreigners. And I think it's awesome that you're doing that, uniting the community.
Yes, that's right. And we're so lucky because in our organization and our network, we have lots of good friends and supporters who always here to support us. If we have, if we tell them that, oh, we will do some fundraising again, they are here to help. But of course, we got more Filipinos all over the place. If this is my call now. If you haven't donated any amount or anything that you can give to these poor people, please donate. Whether you can donate it to other Filipino organization in your area who's, you know, pioneering the fundraising drive, just please give because, you know, our life here is better than their lives in the Philippines.
Even just a few pounds, even £5, you know, if you think about it, £5, 300 pesos, you know, that can provide a meal or a couple of meals or feed a family for a day. And at this time, they need food. People are hungry. I know that obviously the government is providing relief, of course, but, you know, somebody said leave it to the government, but I disagree. You know, we all need to help. We all need to contribute. We all need to support. You know, the the government can't do this alone. You know, people need to be fed. And also, if you're in a community, you know that community, you know those people who are in need. And that's the crucial thing in the work that you do in providing those boats, because you're helping people on the ground.
That's right, yeah. And we wish that we could give more. That's only 11 fishing boats. But I mean, 11 fishing boats will help 11 families, Malcolm. They can help and support their children to go to school. Not only one individual, but families. So in other way, you are also helping to improve their lives and livelihood.
Exactly. We're going to take a break right now, if that's all right. And then when we come back, we're going to talk to Sonia a little bit more about her background, what part of the Philippines she's from. So we're just going to go and take a break right now. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, ano? Ready na ba kayo?
Hi, Kuya! Wala sa shop yung bag na gusto ni Mama. Kailangan ko ng tulong.
Relax ka lang, may alam ako lugar, bigay ko sa address. Ayaw nga pala, kailangan ko nang ipadala yung pang-tuition mo.
The best ka talaga, Kuya. Pero dapat sa world remit ha.
Siyempre si Kuya pa. Madiskarte yan eh.
Alam mo yan. Oh, ha? Ay, si Mama tumatawag.
Hi, anak!
Ma, tawagan kita mamaya ha. Nagluluto kasi ako nilaga eh.
O huwag kakalimutan lagyan ng paminta, ha?
Di ma, o sige na, tawagan kita mamaya. Ano, nabili mo na ba yung bag?
Oo, Kuya. Ako pa. Salamat sa pinadala mo. Malapit na ako sa bahay. Ma, bigay ni Kuya para sa'yo.
Happy birthday, ma!
Dali ma, galing sa amin lahat yan.
Yes, galing sa amin lahat yan.
Thank you! We miss you mga anak ko!
Spoon and rice, you know, this is really, as I've said, the most authentic place to come for Filipino street food. Spoon and rice.
I have to admit that sizzling for the spoon and rice food being prepared is making me so hungry, seeing all those wonderful foods. Let's ask Sonia about her background, where she's from in the Philippines, and how has she been affected by the typhoon in any way?
Hi, Malcolm. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Sonia. Just moving to... I've been in and out the country for the past 25 years. I got married here, but we live abroad. We live in Middle East, in Dubai, for quite some times. Yes, thanks God, none of my family has been victim of this Ulysses typhoon. They're all safe. They're all fine. No flooded. Everybody's okay. Thank you for asking.
Whereabouts are you from in the Philippines again? What's your region?
Originally, I'm born and bred in Manila, but my husband and I, we have a property in Laguna. So our home now is Laguna.
Ah, I see. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to join us today, and remind people again how they can donate to this. But let's read these posts first. Maya Cruz, salamat po for helping and supporting our kababayan. Kudos. Athea, kindly add the link for your Facebook pages. So yeah, the link. So if you can do that, guys, if you can go on to my Facebook afterwards, go on to where the links are and add the donation link. So please add Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club and all of the things that we've been doing today so people can see where they'd like to donate. Rudy Librojo, Mabuhay sa Malcolm, all our kababayan in behalf of Mia, maraming salamat po, stay safe everyone, which is nice. And do we have any more messages? Mike Cruz, hello, Sir Malcolm. Maria from Zoe Life UK. It's nice that we've got people messaging us as well and joining in. So yeah, Sonia, so if you can maybe do that, like post the links, but also could you just let us know if people donate money? For example, if they were going to donate £10, what could that money do?
If they can donate £10, that's a lot of money back home. It's going to be probably a meal for 1 or 2 days per family for £10. Or if we can stretch it, probably can go for 3 days. But £10, it's a lot help for our kababayan back home. So please, please donate.
So people aren't asking for thousands of pounds or anything like that. Just whatever you can give from your heart. We understand about the pandemic, and I'm sure you've been affected. We've all been affected by the pandemic. But let's do whatever we can to be able to help this worthy cause. You know, the reason why I featured the Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club is that I know I can trust this organization. I can rely on what they're doing. And there is evidence of the previous fundraising. You know, they've sent us a video where the boats have been purchased. And these are the kind of grassroots organizations that we should be supporting. So thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for joining our virtual show today, and best wishes. Now over to you, Lolita. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm listening to what Sonia was saying. I want to add something there. Yeah, I encourage all my supporters, our supporters in Maharlika, to donate at least £10. Because I know you are all, well-off people. That's what my assumption is. But the more, for me, the more you give, the more you receive. And that is
exactly
true.
Right.
Exactly
right. You know?
As Sonia said, will go a long way because £10 might be 3 days, meal for a family. And what we're trying to do here, one of the member of our Maharlika families is affected in Isabela, and her brother is like a community officer that he is involved in evacuating people. So personally, he knows the situation there, and he knows who needed the most help. So we will actually want to distribute the money to all over the place if we can raise a lot of money. And so far, I am glad to say that since the launch of our Facebook called Maharlika Fundraiser, where me and Sonia initiated it, I tried to dig all my stuff from my wardrobe, and I found some bags that just lying around there for nothing. So what I did, I posted on Facebook, and people converted it into cash. So it's a good thing. That's how we are doing this fundraising. So if you think that you got no cash to donate, why not, raid your wardrobe and see what you can donate. Things that you bought before, but you don't need it or you don't use it. Donate it so we can convert it into cash, and then we can help more people, not only the Isabela place, but we can go to Cagayan, we can go to Rizal, and we can go to Marikina. But in the Philippines, we got different kind of, organization that we can collaborate with them to distribute it personally, so we know that the money will go to a good cause.
That's amazing.
That's what we're trying to do, yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you for your incredible efforts, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. I'd like to thank you for your support of my show and for kindly agreeing to be a guest again. Do you have any last-minute words for maybe people back home in the Philippines? And again, can you give them your reassurance that this money would be used in a good way?
Yes, yeah. To all my kababayans in the Philippines who are affected by this typhoon, we feel you because this is nature. We can't control it. It just it comes anytime it is there. But what we are saying is we are trying to help as much as we can. That's why I am now asking all my supporters, all my friends, and officers of the Maharlika and community leaders all over England and all over the world to please do something. Our country is counting on us. Our kababayan, the unfortunate people, are counting on us as well. And we can't help everybody, but if we are doing a little bit of something, then we can tell to ourselves that I've done something rather than sit down and just watch the news. We have to do something. And the more you give, the more you receive. And this is my message. And another thing to say is I would like to thank all the people who have supported us so far. And we have raised already, I haven't checked the Maharlika bank account at the moment, but this is what the pledge that I have received so far. We have raised £400 already. So we will divide this money to those people who needed most of our help. But please keep your donation coming because, there are lots of people who needs help. And that's my message.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Of course, we just want to thank Robbie as well, who's looking after our live stream for us and is very much involved in my show. Thank you for your support. Thanks to everybody involved. Thanks to Spoon and Rice, to World Remit, to Comfort Healthcare Services. Thank you again, and I'm sure we'll meet again, and hopefully we can hold another one of your virtual events in the future. I really enjoyed your pageant that you held before. Do you just want to say a quick greeting in Filipino to your kababayan?
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa amin at gusto ko po sanang humingi uli ng tulong sa inyo. Kung gusto nyo pong mag-donate through our organization, Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club, mag-donate po kayo and we can assure that all this money, 100% of all the money raised will go to these poor people. And to those Filipino communities all over England and all over the world, I salute you for your campaign to help our kababayan. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
It's supposed to be all in Filipino, but you kind of failed. I know we're so used to speaking in English, and you guys are so used to speaking in English. It's kind of a bit No, but thank you so much, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to your organization. Thank you for helping people in the Philippines. And I'm sure we'll see you guys again soon. Maraming salamat to all of your supporters, to all of the community in Ripon, in Yorkshire. Thank you very much. Mabuhay. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Before we go, I just wanted to make also a special mention to the Purple Community Fund. I know this is a lot of a week of asking for money and for fundraising, but I know the Purple Community Fund are working in the area of Tondo, in Manila, in the areas affected, and I know they are doing such fantastic work. I know they're trying to rebuild homes. I know their offices were damaged by the recent typhoon, the flooding in Manila as well, and surrounding areas. So before we go, we're just going to be watching a video from the PCF. That's it from me. Thank you so much for joining us for another week. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to the Yorkshire Maharlika Filipino Club, to everybody behind this show. Until next week, mabuhay.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Spoon and rice, you know, this is really, as I've said, the most authentic place to come for Filipino street food. Spoon and rice.